Hello everyone. It's just a quick. I couldn't bother to do a video then. Put it out. So I just wanted to say Happy Valentine's Day for everyone. I know it's coming to an end, and you should possibly be, as close as you're going to be, in order to say those words that I love you. But going forward, just stay. It doesn't have to be the one day I love you. It doesn't have to be that. It's every day going forward for the rest of your life. And it doesn't have to just be, your soulmate, your hey single barrel, how you doing? Yes, just me and you. So it goes sometimes, although there's 3 people in there. It's just me and you talking. Happy Valentine's. Who's in the middle? Me. Some people believe in the devil, some people believe in God. Some people don't believe in either. Some people worship the devil, some people worship God. And I'm just in the middle. I don't know. Well, I know it's God, but I don't know how to navigate. I do know how to navigate both because I'm in the middle. But you can't please everybody all the time. So, hi NSJ, how you going? Happy Valentine's. I know it's nearly the end, but this is a time, I suppose, in America where you're settling down for the night and you're probably going to be the closest that you are. But this is for going forward. Each day is the opportunity to tell someone that you love them, or to tell a pet that you love them, or even to tell a tree that you love them. It doesn't matter. Life is meant for loving. You're meant to love life. You're meant to love everything about it and everyone you meet. And I saw a video where somebody said they were giving up on love. I think it was Lilith. She's pretty pretty set that it doesn't exist, but it exists. And you don't even have to look for it. It will find you. There's always someone for everyone. Always. Or even a pet, there's a love in your life that you're meant to have. Whether you're looking for it or not, it will turn up. And you can't give up on that because love is so many categories. You have your friend that you love, you have your parents that you love, you have family that you love, you have animals that you love. And they're all a different kind of love. And if you're open to it, it will find you. Each version of it will find you if you're open to it. And if you're not, if you're close to it, or you've been close to it, because of these sad people that exist in the world, then you just have to fight that and still move forward, knowing that everything in your life has a possibility of loving you and being loved. And it's upsetting to see someone say that they've given up. It's just crazy to think that you give up on love. It's probably the one thing that should exist above everything else, above the love for money, or the need for money, the desire for material things. Like, love should be first, should be at top of the list, should be the one thing that some people live off love. I know you're supposed to eat and do stuff, but some people manage to go days and days without thinking about anything else but who they're with. I'm not saying you should go without food just because of someone, but no, it gives you strength. Literally gives you strength. Literally, makes you want to get out of bed, and unless you're already in bed with that person, but makes you want to get up and live life, enjoy life. So Valentine's Day, obviously, people focus on Valentine's Day and they want to give love to either the person that they're with or the person that they want to be with. Like I say, there's lots of stages of love, there's lots of different kinds of love, and there's an unconditional love that you can love everything and everyone, and it doesn't have to be sexual, just a closeness that makes you feel good. And a hug is probably the best way to, I say the best way, a kiss is probably the best way, but a hug, I think behind the hug, there's a lot more. It's weird. People are going to say that the kiss is, closer, but I think to hold on to someone, whoever they are, it doesn't have to be sexual, it doesn't have to be anything. Just to hold on to someone and let go. That embrace, that letting go, two hearts, beating together. There's something in that. And you do yourself a disservice if you don't allow yourself to feel that on a daily basis. Not that I'm feeling that on a daily basis, but it is an injustice that you can't, or that you don't. And I think Valentine's Day should be every day. And I know it will take away from the fact that it's, a special day and you get a card, or you get this, or you get that. Oh, I was told something that the other day. I believe in a maverick. Yes, me too. Me too. This is my research time. What is asleep? Well, not to get too deep into it, but sleep is just the not knowing. And you could be wide awake, and still be asleep. The not knowing, the not seeing. We're still waiting for the bracelet. And I suppose Hathor should have wore the bracelet. Then Beck and Zion needed it more. So, wearing the bracelet is a greatest revenge. And that was a love. Like, there was so much love in that story there that, the love that should be but it wasn't, the love that was but couldn't. Just a crazy story. Tell yourself you love. Yeah, self-love. Sorry, I forgot about that. Self-love is very important. Without that, it's difficult to love anyone else. So thanks for that, single. Or silo, or barrel, or whichever you wish to be chosen. But yeah, self-love is it's going to be weird, but probably most important. Like if you can love yourself, and it's a kind of love, probably the hardest you would have to ever go through. Like that's your worst. It's your worst nightmare for your best love. But once you do that, you haven't got to worry about anyone. You haven't got to worry about any enemies because you know you, and as long as you stand in that, nothing's going to shift you. Nothing. There's nothing that can shift you from your own self-worth, your own self-love. Not even the cold. Your self-love is worth the cold. People have been trying to hate on me after I did a video about saying that they're going to hate on me because they see themselves when they see me, and they prove what the video was all about. And I don't understand that kind of thinking. I tell you in a video that you're going to hate me because you see yourself when you see me, and then you go out saying that you hate me. So, okay, you just proved my point. What do you want me to do about that? Nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to react to it. Not bothered about it. That's just what it is. Word is power, spiritual. Oh, currency, yeah. Love is a great currency. And the more of it, the more prosperous the world is. Like if everybody had, was rich in love, we would get up every day as happy as Larry, whoever Larry is. Like, can you imagine that? Everybody was a love millionaire. I mean, that's unreal. If you just imagine that, everybody is a love millionaire. That's just crazy, crazy stuff. Hey, from back east. Ooh, great. Finger in the butt is true love. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how we'll go with that. Hey, G, how you doing? Happy Valentines to you. And I hope, these 7 people that are in here have had that day where they think that everybody's a love millionaire. Like, no issues. No one, honking the horn, in traffic. No one swearing at them. No one trying to outdo them at work. No, just a peaceful day, a great day. It'd be weird, I suppose, and uncomfortable if every day you woke up and everybody says, I love you, have a great day. And I don't know how that would be if it became the norm. If people just said, hello, how are you? Not just for the sake of saying it, because, they mean it. Like, how are you? How are you feeling today? That it's just crazy. Like, I know over there you have that, have a nice day, but I wonder how many people actually mean have a nice day. Like, really. Have a nice day. No issues. And love is power. It really is. Love ends war. Like the pen is mightier than the sword. We've come so far away from that, and that's crazy. It really is crazy. Thora said that. I think he said something like, "I love nothing more than coming across a beaver dam," or something like that. Log jam in the beaver dam. Their programming skills seem to work. Yeah, so we need to program our government, all of them, every single one of them. Well, if it's not a government, if it's just a dictatorship or whatever it is, or however it is, these people are in power to look after, these specific persons are in power to look after the people. That's why they're in power. Some people think they're in power to rule over people, and that's not the case, and it shouldn't be the case. So if you're in a position of power, wherever you are around the world, wherever it is, even if it's a business, you have a duty of care. It's as simple as that. You have a duty of care in whatever position you're in. It's up to you to make sure that the environment, that those that you're in charge of, is a beautiful and safe environment. Free from bullies, free from hardships, free from bad machinery or bad people. Like, you have a duty. That's your duty. That's your first duty. Your first duty in any environment, anywhere, whatever it is, even in the house. Like, if you're a parent, you have to make sure that your plug sockets are covered over so your child doesn't injure themselves. You have to make sure that the fire's covered over so your child doesn't injure themselves, or anybody doesn't. Like, you have a duty of care, and people forget that. But in any walk of life, whatever it is, whatever position of authority you hold, you have a duty of care. Within that duty of care is that love. You might not see it, but it's there. That's what it is. That's the love of another human being, animal, whatever it is, making sure that you're considerate and caring towards them enough that they don't get hurt if they're in that place that you are in charge of. And if you don't want to accept that duty of care, then you shouldn't be in charge. It's that simple. Like, if you don't want to accept that duty of care, this is your responsibility to look after these people in whichever way that is. And that's crazy that people just say, well, I'm in charge, but I don't give a monkeys about who I'm in charge of. I'm in charge because I want something from them. What? No, that's not what it's about. So if you are in charge, your first mission is to ensure that everybody you're in charge of is safe and in a good environment that is beneficial to them, not detrimental to them, that helps them. Even if it's to do a job, you're there to help them do the job. Your help, whilst they're doing something for you, you're actually doing something to help them do something for you. And that's the same with the government. whilst the people are giving you the taxes and doing this, that, and the other, and you're supposed to be there to make sure that their daily life is not met with obstacles. And I don't see that. I just see people wanting to be rich, wanting to be better off, wanting to be better than other people, and using those supposedly beneath them for their own gain, and have no duty of care towards them whatsoever. And that's pathetic. And they should be called out. You're all pathetic. Every one of you. You're a waste of a human being. And it's hard to tolerate these people. It's hard to tolerate this environment where these people exist. And they should be made accountable for not following through with the duty of care that is their responsibility. What is a love millionaire as you speak of? A love millionaire is somebody that is so full of love, they've enough for the people around them. And this love millionaire will be a millionaire that doesn't mind sharing it, because if you live in a world where everybody's a love millionaire, you can all afford it. But if you're without love, not because you're not rich, like you're rich in money, but you don't have love for nothing other than yourself. You don't need much love to love yourself in the way that they do, because they don't know what love is. They don't really have love. They have pride. They go around thinking that they're better than everyone else. That's not love. If you love yourself, really love yourself, if you search yourself, know yourself, not afraid of who you are, and you love yourself, you're rich enough to give to someone else. But if you don't, you're so poor and you don't want to give it to anyone else, because you are so prideful of yourself and think that you're so beautiful and you're so amazing, and no one comes close to you. That's not what love is. So I'd rather be a love millionaire, not rich in finances, but rich in the ability to know who I am and see people for who they are, but love them anyway. Have enough of that love to love them anyway. Even if they hate you. Even if they have no love to give you. You have enough of the both of you. Or the 10 of you, or the 1,000 of you, or the million of you, or the 8 billion of you. You have enough love to give to them. And their journey is their journey. But it's a journey without being rich in love. So yeah, hey Rob, how you doing? Happy Valentines. He read that finger in the butt. It's okay. I'm not proud of myself. Well, I am proud of myself, but I'm not fearful of what people think, or if people react in a negative way. It's like affirmations. I wonder how many people are staying. Yeah, see, I don't understand I understand it. I know what it is, but to affirm I think if you want to, if you dare take the time to invest in yourself, the reward is amazing. I don't want to make this about the universe, the spirits. I do, actually, yeah. Not make it about it, but just touch on it. This feeling comes from somewhere. This feeling of love, this feeling of intimacy. And people think it's just, for people, but animals love each other. Like this energy that you feel, it's there. And you still, whoever, however, whatever, even if you don't believe there's anything there, there's definitely energy there. They're helping you on this journey that you have in life, which is just to exist in a high vibration like that. The earth is dense, so they come here full of love. It's like gravity. You come here from a different planet and you're able to fly and do all sorts of wonderful things, and then you come to earth and you can't because the gravity is too dense, so it doesn't feel as good. But it doesn't mean you can't feel that feeling of being able to fly and then adjust to the gravity and fly. What stops you is the fact that you stop you. You think the wrong things. You do the wrong things, and therefore you don't get the feelings that you could have. When you can scientifically change the atoms within water by just expressing the word love, you know there's something really special behind it. Thanks, Single. That's brilliant. You should put that on a t-shirt. Well, not on a t-shirt, but you should put it out somewhere. That's brilliant, that is. Was the Homer Brown that damn got washed down with the beaver bones? Probably got washed down when, where was it, Riverton? There's a great analogy there for those pieces of wood that go down. I'd like to put people I'm in charge of on layaway for later payment and collection. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like the right thing to do. Layaway. I know Playaway used to be a children's program, but layaway. Yeah, so we're all in charge of the environment that we're in. So we all have a duty of care. That's how this earth should be. Everybody has a duty of care for themselves, which is the self-love, and then the love for everyone else, which is, the care of others. Like, you shouldn't be doing anything that will stop somebody else doing what they're doing, or injure anybody else, or hurt anybody else in how they go about their daily life. So you have a duty of care for yourself, this self-love, this understanding. Like, the first rule is know thyself. That's the first rule. Know thyself. Know you. Be at peace with who you are. And I don't mean be at peace with who you are because you're a rich, you're a person who doesn't give a care about yourself, and you don't give a care about anybody else. I'm talking about know thyself, and know that who that person is not the person that gives out that duty of care. Who's not that person that actually does love themselves and doesn't, does love other people. And that's the world that you should live in. The world where everybody has a duty of care to themselves, know thyself, and to the people around them, and does not want to hurt themselves and does not want to hurt the people around them. So, if you look at it with the machinery, you say, right, I'm using machinery and it has to have a guard here and a guard here and a guard here, and I need to wear gloves and I need to wear eye protectors and I need to wear an apron or whatever to stop myself getting hurt. And then I need to be wary of the people around me to stop them getting hurt. So you want to protect yourself and know yourself well enough that you're able to protect the people around you as well. And then every day you go about that, doing that. Well, I'm not saying it's a job because it should come naturally, but obviously it doesn't. But if you can undertake that, if you can bother to do that, then every day is a good day. Every day is a good day. And you know that can't be denied. If everybody loves everybody, every day is a good day. And if 50% love people and 50% don't, then those 50% that love are going to have really bad days because they're going to come across people that don't care about them. And that's going to hurt to want to, be nice to somebody and then just get shit back from them because that's who they are. And they see what you have and subconsciously they don't like that because it shows them who they are. So they hate you because you show them who they are. And they don't like that. So they try and call you out for being the person that they are, not the person that you are. So whilst it'd be great to have 100%, everybody loving everybody, like I said in the video, that's impossible. But because if you are that person that loves people and you do say things, it triggers these people that don't. So therefore you're never going to have a happy, loving environment unless those people know thyself, and unless they actually do the duty of care to themselves, unless they go inside themselves and say, actually, if I was a really loving person, I would not be doing videos, or I would not be writing letters, or I would not be sending emails, or I would not be jumping up and down in front of somebody. I wouldn't be doing that. If I was a person of love, I wouldn't be doing these things. So therefore, I can't be a person of love. So what is it in me that stops me being a person of love? Like, why am I jumping up and down when I'm in the car? Because I want to be somewhere. The person in front can't go any quicker. The person in front of them can't go any quicker. The person in front of them can't go any quicker. Why am I jumping up and down? Why am I taking this frustration that I have inside me on someone that can't do anything other than what they're doing, other than what I'm doing, but they're not jumping up and down? They're just waiting for the lights to change so they can go. Or they're just waiting for the person who can't walk very quickly to cross the road because they've taken the time to stop to let them cross. Like, firstly, it has to come from within. And then you have to accept the world for what it is and still be at peace with it. And once everybody can do that, then the world is at peace. Like, if you're accepting that person that's jumping up and down and you're not retaliating, then you're halfway there, because that person at some point will have to give in. Like, I'm shouting and screaming at you. Why aren't you reacting to me? Because I'm not you. Which is what people do. They jump up and down, they scream, they shout, and they want to get in your energy and they want to upset you. And if you react, it carries on back and forth. Two unhappy people. Well, no, I don't want to be an unhappy person. So you can jump up and down and shout and scream and do what you want, and I still love you. You are who you are. There's nothing I can do about that. But I'm not going to be unhappy. So now there's only one unhappy person and one happy person. And at some point, that person that's jumping up and down will realize all my jumping up and down is for nothing. Why am I jumping up and down? Why am I going down this road? What sort of person am I that I keep jumping up and down and this person's ignoring me because they're still happy? if you don't love yourself, you will just bring people down to your low vibration. And there you go. So if you can love yourself and you're in a high vibration and everybody joins you in that high vibration, then it's all good. And if you don't, you do go down to the lower vibration. And that means the more people in the lower vibration, the worse days you're going to have, because everybody's in that place. And everybody will be triggered more quickly. And don't get me wrong, the low vibration is where the sex and that is. So don't get me wrong, I don't mind being in that vibration of that free giving, crazy world. But you can still be in a high vibration, have that sex, but feel the love that goes with that. You don't have to be in that low vibration. You don't have to want. You don't have to want to stay in that, which is why there's the grey road. Like sometimes, forbidden fruit. But once you do enter that low vibration, you have to accept that that's not right. And that's why you speak to God and you apologize for what it is that you've done. And you mean it, you mean it. I'm sorry for the way that I behaved. I really am sorry for the way that I behaved. I know it's wrong. And I'll try my best not to do it again. Unfortunately, we are human and we live on this planet which is dense and we are in that low vibration. So we have to stay out of it. I should really do a graph. If you imagine that's the vibration. This is where I am in the middle. It's all gone. Why did it do that? This is my vibration in the middle. And as you go, it gets lighter. So this is the grey, a little bit lighter grey, and then white. And then this is a dark grey and black. And you live here and you try and do all the good things. And sometimes you try and be here, but sometimes you go here and you apologize for being here. But once you go down here, it's hard to come back from that. So if you can stay here, you can, like this is the fall from grace. You fall down into the darkness. And then this is grace. This is, for the grace of God. So you're here and you try to be here. So this is a type of grace, and this is not like Jesus. And this is like the devil. So you walk this grey line. If everybody walks this grey line, things won't be too bad, because I don't believe that everybody can walk this white line. Why does it do that? This white line. I don't think everybody's going to be Jesus. And then you get some people just being awkward, isn't it? And then some people are like this, probably not trying to get the message out. So I walk the grey line, the middle line. I know I need to do better, always need to do better. I know the person I am. I accept who I am. This is me. I don't care what anybody says. This is me. You can't insult me because I've already insulted myself worse than you can insult me. You can't shame me because I've already shamed myself worse than you can shame me. So I walk the grey line. And I do my best. I do my best to stay on that line. Because that's there, but for the grace of God, go I. Like once you drop down, and I know that it's easy to do that. And I know it's easy to be in that dark place. And I don't want to be in that dark place. So I'll do my best to get to the white. Because that's where Jesus was. But I accept myself as being that person that is not white. That does transgress. But, I am sorry for those transgressions. But I know that I will transgress. I'm not going to lie to God and say, oh, God, if you do this to me, if you do this for me, I'll never do this, I'll never do this, I'll never do this, and I'll never do this. Because that's impossible. That's just a lie. And then, if you are given whatever it is that you've been asking for, you've already failed. You know, what's worse, a dad has two sons, or God has two people. I think he did it. So God has two people, and he says to both of them, I need you to go out and work in the fields and do this, this, and this. And one of them says, yeah, okay, God, I'll go and do it. And the other one says, no, I'm not going to do that. And then half an hour later, the one that says, no, I'm not going to do it, goes and does it. And the one that says he is going to do it, doesn't do it. Who do you think God's going to favour more? So, no, I'm not going to do it. Doesn't get you judged if you actually go and do it. And the person says they are going to do it does get them judged because they didn't do it, even though they said they would. So I tell God, look, I try to do good. It doesn't matter who you think God is. Tell the universe, whatever it is. It doesn't matter how you believe it, but there is something. The creator, you know, the aliens, the spirits, your ancestors, whatever it is. You tell them that you're going to be a good person, you're not. Therefore, you're not looked at favorably because you're basically lying. You tell people that you're not going to do it and you do it, you know, in a bad way, compounds what it is that you've done wrong. Because not only you've done something wrong, but you lied about not going to do it. So I say, look, I can't promise you nothing. I can promise you that I will try to be the best version of me. And I will promise you that I will try to not make somebody the worst person of them in order that they can be the best person of them. So you go around being the best person that you can be, and they go around being the best person that they can be, and all is good. But some people don't want that. Now, it's hard, well, almost impossible, I'd say, to walk around like Jesus. You know, we all sin. So being in that white zone is difficult. And then being in that grey zone, which is, so this is the grey zone. This is the grey zone. From here to here, that's the grey zone. So this is where we all are. And this is where some people are. And this is where some people stay, and this is where some people stay. This is where I stay. This is where some people hope to be, and this is where it's impossible to be. And this is the closer to God. So you're going in the dark from the devil, and you're getting as close to God as you can, which is being in the white. So I walk here, knowing that I'll struggle to be in any of these. It's impossible for me to be in any of those. I already know that. I already know it's impossible for me to be there. I want to be there, but I know who I am. And it's impossible for me to stay in this place because I know who I am. I have too much light in me to be in these places. But I know me. I can visit here and I can visit here. It's easy to visit here. So easy to visit here. Stay here if you want. So easy to visit here. Stay here if you want. It's so easy to be here. Stay here if you want. It's so easy to be here, but you can't stay there. And it's difficult to be there. So you can be in all of these places. Easy to be in all of these places. You can be good for a bit. You can be in a place where you're good and bad. You can be in a place where you're more bad than good. And you can be in a place where you're really, really bad. Those are easy. This is really difficult. So I admit I can visit here and I can visit or stay in any of these. And I choose not to. Because I hope that at least if you stay here, you know who you are, you love who you are, and you know that you can love other people, whether they are here or here. It doesn't matter because you know these people because that's who you were. That's why you're here. You're not down here. Because down here, you just love you. You want everything that suits you. Everything that suits you is down here. And up here, you're looking to whoever the universe is for you. Like you're trying to do your best for the universe or God or the aliens or the spirits or whatever it is. You're trying to do your best for these people, for this person, but for these people here and these people here, if there's anybody here. So I walk that line, jumping up and down, using nothing. New person, something. If we are our God, then God can see through our eyes to live. So I'm all about if God made us, then we're God, or we're a God, because we came from God, and we grow up to be like God if we choose to listen to our Father. So the genes that are inside me are the genes of my Father, or whoever birthed me. Those genes inside me make me be that person that created me. So if that is the universe, God, however you want to look at it, then I should be able to grow up like that. I don't see any reason why I should not be able to grow up to be like the person that created me. And in the first instance, that will be the person that is my biological father. But in totality, it's the person that actually created him and created his father and created his father and created his father. So therefore, within me, I should have the ability to grow up to be like my original father, the person that created us. So I look to that father, not my biological father, that father, and I ask him to give me his strength. To give me his strength, not my strength, not my biological father's strength, his strength. Because he's all powerful, all knowing. He can do everything or anything, or he can undo anything or everything. So I look to him, not my biological father, the creator father. I look to him for everything that I need. I ask him for everything that I need. I don't ask my biological father. I ask my creator father for all the things that I need. And I ask for it in abundance. I don't ask for a little bit of it. I ask for a lot of it. And that's how I try to go through life now. Whilst I try to go through life being not holier than thou, but as holy as you can be, or as loyal as you can be to the Father or the Creator and the Mother, the person that I grew up being is not able to walk in that light grey area all the time. So I walk that middle line. I know this is me. This is me. This is who I am. I accept who I am. And I try to be better than who I am. So sometimes I will be better than who I am. Sometimes I will be able to, not drop down into the dark grey. And that will be my life. I walk that middle line. Sometimes I do things I shouldn't do. I try not to do them, but, I'm only human. And, we make mistakes and we do bad things. But I'm not going to walk into the darkness ever again. Never going to be in the darkness. And I don't suppose I'll be able to walk into the white light and live in that place like Jesus. I don't suppose I'll ever be able to do that. So I accept who I am. I love who I am, and I love everyone around me, whether they are in the white light or whether in the darkest dark, because I know it wouldn't take much for me to be in that darkest dark. And I'm happy to play in that darkest dark. Like, that doesn't scare me. I don't not go there because it scares me. I don't go there because it's not right to be there. That's not who we should be. I'm not afraid of the dark. I played in the dark. It's a good place to be. like without any morals, without, there's two ways of not caring what people think about you, because you think you're better than them, or because you know you're not. So it's easy to be in the dark and thinking that you're better than everyone else and not caring about them, how you hurt them, what you do, expecting that everything in life is yours and you have it without remorse or regret. But really, you should think that everything in life is yours and everything in life is everybody else's. You shouldn't have everything in life because somebody else has to have nothing in life. You should have everything in life because everybody else has everything in life. And you don't have to judge anybody because everybody's got everything. There's no judgment needed because we're all in the same place. If you live in an environment where everybody's rich, there's no crime. There's no crime. Because everybody's rich. They don't need to steal. They already have enough. They will only steal if they're in that dark place. If that's how they want to live their life. But in a normal, say normal, it's hard to believe it's normal anymore. But what should have been a normal society is if you're all rich and if you're all at least in the grey line, there's going to be no crime. Because people who can't afford stuff buy stuff cheaper. When they buy stuff cheaper, they tend to get it from people who stole it because they can't afford it either. So they steal in order they get money, and people buy because they can't afford the full price. So the people that are stealing know that there's someone there to buy. If there was nobody there to buy, there'd be no point stealing. Like, well, you're going to steal something and then just keep it because you've got 15 microwave ovens. You stole them because you want to sell them, but everybody's rich enough that they can afford to go out and buy a microwave oven. They don't need to buy one that you stole. So now you're left with 15 microwaves to do what? Or phones, or whatever it is that they've been stealing because people can't afford to buy them. But when people have a happy, financial existence, and they don't feel the need to buy it cheap because they can't afford it, and they don't need to go through I shouldn't really be doing this, but I can't afford to, not to. If there's no excuse to buy something that's stolen, more than not, not always, they're going to buy it at a normal price, carry on their life without offending whichever, even if you don't believe in a power, without offending the power that is in charge, because there is a power in charge. So if everybody's full of love and everybody's happy in their finances, there's going to be less crime and more people full of love because nobody's hurt all the time. Nobody's a victim. So we live in a world now where everybody's a victim. Everybody wants to be a victim, and that's wrong. You shouldn't want to be a victim, or you shouldn't have to be a victim. This is going on longer than I thought. I was just going to do a quick, but it is what it is. Hey, Bill. Happy Valentines. Bang, bang. The echoes of fate lives on short term. Remember in the smoke and haze dreams that faded away in the blaze. Wow. Past fans treasure left behind, stories ended before their time. Legacies and shadowed monitors. Wow, you're pretty profound today, Bill. That story is just beginning, Bill. Hemingway sipping on his last breath. JFK smile meets sudden death sitting. Bull heard the cool Fred Hammond. He's very profound today, isn't he? Chapters that ended with bullets. Satires told by a trigger. Final sentence in well, making me think a bit there, say. So Valentine's Day. It's about love, the giving and receiving of love. In the first instance, give yourself some. Give yourself a big hug. Be happy for the person that you are. Understand the person that you are to be able to understand everyone else around you. And to love everyone else around you, because whatever state they're in, more often than not there, but for the grace of whoever, God in my instance, go you. Like, you could be that person quite easily. So know thyself, love thyself, in a good way, in the real way, in all the dark parts of you. Understand them, know why they're there, face them. And that means the things that you did and also the things that were done to you, and understand how those things happened, why those things happened, and forgive yourself and forgive the people, that you hold resentment towards. And then, unburden yourself and give the rest to God. At some point, if people get to know themselves first, we're on the road to recovery. But it has to start with you, and it has to start with those that are in power over you, in whatever way you believe that to be. They need to address that what they're doing is not for their highest good and not for your highest good in the grand scheme of things. It might be good for them because they get rich by stealing, but that's not the highest good. So those people who have a duty of care need to act on that, and they need to be wary that they need to act in a way that ensures that the people around them are in a good environment, a safe environment. And that's, what I hope from the politicians and from these rich people, from these cults and secret societies, these Masons and Illuminati, and from religious people that pump out false narratives. Even if they believe them, they're false. Like, if you look at the information, it doesn't make sense. Like, what they're saying is impossible, and they just need to look at that. So whoever these people are that are in charge, supposedly in charge, whoever these people are, they're being judged. They're all going to be judged. Whoever these people are that are in power, or think they're in power, or think that they're leading, or think that they're untouchable, you're not untouchable. So first and foremost, know thyself. Then know God, or however, the universe, or whatever it is that you want, the creator, the spirits, the angels, whatever it is you want to say controls life, because something controls life. Be in touch with them. So be in touch with yourself, be in touch with those, then be in touch with the masculine and the feminine that's inside you, the nurturing person and the logical person. And allow the correct one to be dominant at the correct time. So if you need to be nurturing, be nurturing. And if you need to be logical, be logical. That's just the way that it is. And then if everybody could do that, the world would be a better place. And that's just, I'm not trying to have a fantasy. That's just fact. If everybody can do that, that is fact. That's what will happen. But it has to start with those people who think they're in power, addressing themselves, addressing the real power, and coming to terms with that. And if they can't do that, they'll be judged and they'll be put in a position that they probably don't want to be in. But that's up to them. Because their judgment is solely based on their actions. So this is where it's supposed to be. Their judgment's solely based on their actions. If they're here, all good. If they're here, all good, I suppose. If they're here, well, I don't know what the repercussions of that is. If they're here, oops. And if they're really here, then. So if you are here, then you need to at least be here. If you're here, you need to be here. And if you're here, you can try and be here. And if you're here, you ain't got nothing to worry about, I don't think. But I'm not the judge, so I don't know. But if you can't truly see yourself that you're here, if you can't see yourself that you're here, or you think, well, if I just say, I'm sorry, and I pretend to be here, that ain't going to work. Or I pretend to be here, that ain't going to work. Because you're being judged, and all of your actions will be judged. So if you're here and you truly, truly want to be here, then that's a different judgment as opposed to if you're here and say that you're here, or say that you're here. Yeah, it's possibly true. It's possibly true. Because I'm, or used to be prideful, I used to say it's because, I had a lot of sex and my head was rubbing the headboard. And that's why the hair came off. But you could be right. You can also do or undo anything we have to think and act however we visit. Yeah, so 100%. The do and undo. But Forrest told us all of these things, and if you listened, you would have heard what he was saying. However, that was supposed to come about, like whoever wrote the book, like the book wrote itself, or the poem was a higher hand. However that's supposed to come about, there's plenty of information in there that says, let's try and just get along. Let's try and live a more understanding and spiritual life. It's funny, like my eyelids are closed but my eyes open. It's funny, but really, it's that seeing, that knowing, that third eye, that pineal gland, whatever it is. The way that you say, smell the sun, smell freedom, or whatever it is, the taste of freedom. Looking out the window, daydreaming, like a rainbow in the dark. Judgment is never needed from one human to another. No, I believe passing judgment is another one of those things that brings us down. Oh, God. Yeah, so, and they'll be judged as well. Not by us, by, whoever the creator is, whoever God is, whatever the universe, whatever you want to believe. So we're not here to judge one another. I don't even think we're supposed to judge ourselves. We're just supposed to know ourselves. Like, you don't have to look at yourself, oh, I'm an evil person, I'm an evil person. You have to know yourself and understand why you think you are evil, if you are evil, or why you're good, if you are good. Like, you have to know those things. But you can't go around saying that you're good without actually looking inside yourself and knowing all the things that you've done and coming to terms with all those things to realise, well, hang on, I'm not as good as I thought. Because there are some things that, that I've tried to sort of like just gloss over. But if they are all rich, some of them must have stolen to get to where they are. So that's the message I'm trying to say. You can be, if everybody's well off, you would think that there would be no crime because everybody can afford it. But you've got those people that want to live in this place or this place that do it just for the doing of it. So they can be rich because they want to be in this place. They want that thrill. They want that whatever power, however it is. So we can all be rich. We can all be rich. Just have to believe that we can all be rich. And you don't have to do these bad things to get it. And if everybody was rich, then these people doing the bad things would have to only be doing the bad things for themselves to be rich, not to get it from other people. People don't need to go to them, for the drugs, for the stolen vehicles, for the stolen stuff out of the vehicles, for the stolen stuff out of the house, because they can afford to buy their own stuff. They don't need to get stuff that's been stolen. So therefore, the requirement to steal something or to gain money illegally is lessened. So you're only stealing for yourself. You're not stealing because you know that other people need to buy off you. You're doing bad things just for you. The bad things that you do are just for you. They're not there to help anyone else. Bias creates with the grant. It's the truth. It won't begin. Plays a part. Well, Bill, you're doing some stuff today. Are you getting this off the internet, or is this you? Every time I hear something, it reminds the bass play. Cocaine and sex. See, like I wouldn't do the cocaine stuff, but the sex stuff, like that's part of who I am. I think because it's been forced on me. But it's still there, and I know that it's still there, but it doesn't rule me, and that's what people don't understand. It doesn't rule me. It doesn't control me. It doesn't keep me down here, where people probably want me to be. It doesn't keep me down there. So it keeps me here or here, and anything that is given to me from here to make me feel like this in this darkness, I transmute to this or this. At best, I take this and transmute it to this. But then because I'm in this dark area, this beautiful white becomes this grey light instead of this white light. Did you pay her to leave? I had to use her fibre to go to work the next day. Hopefully the state is... It's late in the game to still be under programming. Hey Amy, how you doing? Happy Valentines, if it's still Valentines. I don't know what time it is now. It's 7 o'clock in the morning here, so it's probably 12 o'clock something there, midnight even. But it's good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's. Life can be shitty, I'm not going to deny that, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, and there should be enough love out there for everyone. Like everyone has a soulmate, or more than one soulmate, or one twin flame. Like you're meant to meet people in your life that you already said you were going to meet. You already said you're going to meet them, and they were meant to trigger you in certain ways. So there is always someone out there you're meant to meet, and they're meant to help you in your life, or be negative in your life, whichever way it was, to help you be the person that you need to be. And sometimes you end up with the person that isn't supposed to be with you, and sometimes you ignore the person that is because they're not pretty, because they're not don't have a fit body, because they're not your type, but something in you is drawn to them. And I think if you're drawn to someone, no matter what they look like, they're the person for you. because they're the person that will make you happy. As long as that attraction is that love attraction, and not that this person is meant to be in my life to trigger me to realize I have to look inside myself, because this person makes me angry, this person makes me, whatever the person makes you feel, you have to look inside yourself. Well, hang on, why am I irritated by this person? Why does this person irritate? Because this person's done nothing to me. I just look at them and they irritate me. So, and they're meant to do that. They're meant to make you feel that way. And then you have to question, why is that the case? Or why do I love this person, even though they don't have dark hair or blue eyes, or, the type of person that I like? Why do I like this person, even though they're not the type of person I like? And that's probably the person that you're supposed to be with, because you're liking them, not based on what you want, but based on who they are. The person inside them. Hi, Ellen. I don't think I've seen that name before, but thanks. I didn't know I was running, but if you caught me, you caught me. Damn, am I it now? I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. She was David, the ex-main show from Australia. Oh, Australia's a good place. Women know what they want. Those are helpful soulmates. What's the hurt? Eases up. So, I'm at the point where, I want everyone to love everyone. And I don't mean, in the sexual, love everyone. I just mean there's lots of different layers of of love. So you got me at it now. I'm already thinking about sex. The different layers of love, whether it just be a friendship or family or however that is, or your, pets, you feel a different kind of way to different things, or, a hobby, a football team, or you have a different kind of love in all of those, and you separate that, which is great. But at some point, you just have to be able to have an unconditional kind of love that says, I love you no matter what. No matter what you've done to me, it's not for me to judge what you do. But I love you no matter what you've done. No matter what you've done. It doesn't mean I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you as my partner, blah, blah, blah. It just means that I love you no matter what you've done. And sometimes, whatever they've done, if they're in this place, you can spend the rest of your life with them if they're in that place. No matter what they've done, if they're in that place, you can spend the rest of your life with them. But if they're in this place, you can't. It's difficult to keep loving someone if they're in this place. You can love them, but if they're in this place, you won't spend the rest of your life with them. So you love them from a distance. Or this place, you love them from a distance. But in this place, you can stay with them. In this place, you can stay with them. And obviously in this place, you can stay with them. So if you're in this place, you've got a chance to love everyone. You can love these people from a distance, and you can love these people close up. And that's just the way it is. And that's the ascension that you have, from this darkness to this grey, to this grey, to this white. So you can afford to love everybody, but you can't afford to be with everybody, because that darkness is easy to be corrupted. Like, you can quite easily fall into that darkness. And it's a hard place to get out of. It really is a hard place to get out of. But once you're out of it and you know it, you know who you are, you know where you need to be, then you can accept those people in the darkness. You can still love them, you can still spend a bit of time with them, but then, you have to leave them. And those people may want to be with you more than you want to be with them, because you are more light than they are. And it's like a fix. They take a fix and I think, oh, I'm nice for a bit. And then it's, oh, shit, I need another fix. And you can't have people just draining off you like that. So whilst it's easy to love everybody, it's easy to love everybody as long as those dark people, you only love them for a bit, if you know, from a distance. And that, it's hard to explain. I don't mean from a distance, worldwide distance, you know, long. I mean, you can touch them, but like barely touch them. Like barely touch them. Still love them, but barely touch them. These people. But these people, you can love them and like hold them and embrace them and know who they are and they know who you are. Holy shit! I mean, holy shit! Did it eat her? See, they end up teaching a lot of lessons, but I'm ready to learn from joy, not pain. Wow, that's good. Yeah. So, like, love is probably the most powerful weapon ever, ever. And people are fooled by magic, or whatever you want to call it, by lust, by physical appearances, and they're brought into a world of pain, and they accept that. You know, they think that's how it should be, but it isn't. That's not how it should be. And if it is how it should be given in a different way. Like, oh, sounds sexual, but I don't want to go there. But some people just need the darkness. They need that sort of life. And you can live in love and have a similar type of life to that, but you don't need the darkness. You just don't need it. Because you're supposed to do these things in love, not, what's the word I want? I don't know what the words are. I don't know why they've all left me, because I'm pretty good at words. But if you do it in love, and you're not doing it because you want to victimize people, because you want to brutalize people, because you hate these people, because you want to have power over these people, you do it because that person wants you to do something in that way, to trigger something in them. And you're doing it out of love for them, not out of hate. You're not doing it because you want to belittle them, even though they think that they maybe want to be belittled. You can give them that feeling, but give that feeling with love, not because you think you own them. I know what I mean, but it has to come from a good place. It has to come from a good place. Hey Newman, how you doing? Happy Valentine's Day. Like I say, I hope everybody has the love that they want, and some people want a darker love or a higher love, however it is. But I hope you have, you know, the love that you want, you know, the love that you need. I want to see the hand makes a good visual aid for us visual. My first job is a dishwasher. The chef showed me how to shut. I was extremely offended and a little scared. Has a good pickup line for you to use the pub. I am married, but my friends call me hot. Why do they call you hot? She says. Look what it did to the top of my head. So actually, when I was smaller, they used to call me Texas. So that was actually, I didn't really need much of a chat line, to be fair. Which I know sounds, you know, very prideful, but it's okay. So I used to go out. When I used to go out, I had a bit of a reputation, to be fair. So when I like dancing, and I think, well, I can still dance now. But so when I used to go out, I used to dance, and that was it. I was in, and I didn't have to chat women up, and I got a lot of resentment from, you know, the men, shall we say, because of it. But I would if I would go out and I go out with my mates, I spent most of my time, well, there's two of us really, me and Steve. We would just dance, and the rest of the mates would be like drinking, and then it'd be up to me and Steve to sort of like find a group of ladies that were interested. But I didn't really do much chatting up. If anything, they come up to me and said it. So um, I think my dancing, my love of music and my dancing helped me get through the life that I had. I honestly do. I think that I managed to get through life because I love to dance and I love music. And that kept me happy. That kept me in a good place. And I still, I'm still, dancing around my house now. Um, and the neighbours probably think that I'm nuts, but that's just the way that it is. That's what I do. So, um, and that's what, you know, that's probably one of the things that I love. So, like I was saying, you can love lots of different things, and you have to appreciate, those things that you do love. So, dancing, and listening to music is one of mine. But if we did, like I'd say those jokey things. If I did have to speak to a woman, so if there was somebody that I was specifically interested in, I say stupid things like, "Have you got any Italian in you?" And they'd be like, "No." So, do you want some? Or, do you have sex? And they'll be like, "Do you have sex on the first time I'm meeting someone?" They'll be like, "No." I'll be like, "Well, do you mind lying down while I do?" Those sort of things, which not good, but uh, it was just a case of breaking the ice. And I can only say I've only been slapped once in my whole life, and I don't think that was deserved to be fair, but I have been slapped once, but only once. Wealthy has nothing to do with happy, except for they both end. Why? Not while. Mary, what if everybody was poor? Then everybody would be happy also. Just now, the problem with being poor. If everybody was poor, there would still. Well, I don't know. I don't know how to take that because not everybody would be poor. But if everybody couldn't afford to live, I don't know. I think it depends if everybody was hateful or in a loving if you're in a loving vibration, everybody's poor, then everybody would accept and offer what it is that they had. But if you were in a bad vibration and everybody was poor, then everybody would be ending up killing everybody for what they had. Like if you couldn't afford to live, you would take off someone else. That's just the truth. If you are poor and you can't afford to live, you will take off someone else. So therefore, if everybody was poor in that low vibration, that sad, I'm poor, lack mentality, then they will want to get it from somewhere else. But if you were poor and you're in the high vibration, then you would share what little you had with someone else. That's how I see it. The being in lack is part of the low vibration, like the needing something, the not being able to have something, and the desire to have that overrides, that feeling of compassion and love for someone else because you don't care about them. You just need what you need, and that's it. So it could work both ways. If you pour and you in a high vibration, then you would share whatever you had with whatever everybody else has, and you all work together. And if you're poor and you're in low vibration, you're in lack, then you will take it from someone else. So I don't. But I could be wrong. I'm not an expert. I just like feel it and see it the way that I see it. Come on, Eileen. Yeah, that is crazy. Another guy has abundant resources for all, but the greedy hoard them. Yep. So I went out last night and trying to get in touch with my other guy. To be fair, so I was holding a tree and feeling the ground and just being thankful. So, and that's where we are. We're in that survival mode, and that's what they want. They want, whilst we're all busy fighting each other and trying to survive, we're not looking at what they're doing and how they're keeping us down, keeping us in that lack mentality where we just think that we can never get out. We can never get out, and maybe we need to get another job, or maybe we need to split, or maybe whatever. However, what's being done affects you. Like we're never going to buy a house, never going to be able to leave home, never like all of that. And that's bullshit. That's not how it should be. It's just not how it should be. So if they can keep people in that, if they can, keep children in that, then they're easier to control, and that's what they do. Question: how does agape? Ooh, is that the god agape love relate to joy? It's a very good question. Worth your time to study. Hey, Indy. Hope you had a happy Valentine's Day. Join me on the endless quest. Embrace the within your chest. Bill's very flipping poetic and profound today. ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra. Words are very powerful. Yes, so you don't know how powerful, or you do know how powerful, and that's why you said it. My words are very powerful, and I have to be careful what I say because they are very powerful. And that's the same for everybody. And that's why Forrest says your imagination is more important than knowledge, I think. Because if you can, and I've said before, if you can think it, it can happen. Like if you can think it, then it'll happen. It's possible. And that's people say, oh, no such thing as time travel. Well, somebody thought of it, so yeah, there is. No such thing as aliens. Well, somebody thought of it, so yeah, there is. And so, the fifth dimension, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, whatever somebody can think of, it's there. It's possible. It will happen because it's been thought of. And that, I think, therefore, I am. I think I am a god, therefore, I am a god. And if you believe it, that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. Fly high beyond the sky, reaching children. Are you singing songs, or are you coming up with all this profound stuff? We change. Be the master of our grace, children of the light. Like, I haven't heard you say half of this stuff, Bill, but it's brilliant. I thought agape was a god. Agape alone. Marvel Gaze. Yeah, Bill's doing some good stuff. Never heard of this. You can't be a reincarnation of one. You can't. You can be a reincarnation of one. Yeah, you can be. So we're all just souls, like we're bags of water, and we're inhabited by beings that come to experience life on Earth, which is a heavy gravity place, which is not, conducive to high vibrational beings. But that's the energy that, should be in. And the Egyptians had a different way of life than we had, and a different belief. And the gods that we talk about, Aphrodite, Venus, etc., were just different gods, to the Egyptians. And the stories that we've been told are based on, truths. And those truths, like that game of whispers, is it? Telephone, whatever it is, it changes. And man decided it would change the truth because they're just corrupt. They're just, not nice people. And we ended up with the world that we have. And we need it to get back to the way that it was. Listen good, ears wide open, please. Gather wisdom, hearts of gold. No more shadows, no more fears, words of power in yours. Wow, Bill, you're on a roll today. Are you really Bill Gorman? There is no way that this is not the Bill Gorman that I've been bloody seeing. Really, most of the stuff that you've said is so positive and so real, it's crazy. Oh, nice one. Well done, Otech. He's figured out the wheel of time. I mean, that's not an easy. I don't know if it's a quest or just I wouldn't say it was an epiphany. I don't know if you actually go out to figure out the wheel of time. But it's tough to be in the energy that we need to be in when we were. Wow, that's definitely a Hopi mindset. So that's definitely a creator mindset. So yeah, so you can't feel the energy beneath your feet because you're wearing shoes. So I did that the other day. I took my shoes and socks off, and I stood out, in the garden, and it's bloody freezing. I can tell you that now. But yeah, just every now and again to do those things. Not to mention not produce out natural production of melatonin. Wow, this conversation is getting with Bill and Indy. Is he? No, not telepathically this time, mate. It's from my music. I'm counting down the days for bare feet weather. Any weather's barefoot weather. Like I say, I went out, and stood on my lawn for a bit in just my bare feet. It was cold, but we soon warm up. It's a good feeling. Like I went out, as I said yesterday, and it is cold, but I think when you just breathe in and believe, like everything around you is amazing. I'm alive because everything around me is perfect. Without the wind, without the air, without the rain, without the sun, without the trees, none of it exists. Without the trees, we wouldn't be able to get rid of the poisons that we put into the air. Without the water, nothing would exist because we'd all be dead. There'd be no trees, there'd be no animals, there'd be none of us. Without the animals, we'd struggle. I know people say, it's weird. In a nutshell, please listen. In a nutshell, stop this. Oh, I'm a vegan because I think it's cruel to kill animals, etc., etc., etc. It's just as cruel to eat vegetables. It's all life. It's all life. Like the planets speak to each other, the trees speak to each other. Forrest talked about who listens. the babbling brook, the tree, the grass, whatever. It's all life. All of it is life. Everything that we see around us is life. And to say that you don't eat meat because it's cruel was just as cruel to eat the vegetables. They're life as well. That's life. It's a grown life. So to say that it's cruel to eat meat and say that it's not cruel to eat vegetables is bullshit. Of course it's cruel. But it was all these things are created to sustain us. That's exactly it. Like a lion eats a deer. That's what it is. As long as you're doing it to just, the circle of life, then that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And you shouldn't feel guilty about the circle of life. But you shouldn't just kill for the sake of killing. That's not what that's about. You shouldn't just kill for the sake of killing. And if you do kill, you should be grateful for the kill and honor it and thank it. Whether it's, a banana or a blooming chicken. I'm a wimp with cold weather. Yeah, I'm a wimp with cold weather, but I just did it because I suppose, sometimes you have to. I have not worn shoes since 2019. I mean, without our own consciousness, some of this would. Well, I missed that bit. So, God is godly love. There are four loves. Eros. Yeah, so Eros is Cupid, which is weird because Cupid is supposed to be the nice love, but Eros is Cupid. But yeah, sexual. So 100%. So, which is what I was saying earlier, Newman. There's different levels of love, and it goes to trees and plants and pets and animals and whatever. However you see it. So you can have this unconditional love that you love everybody, or you can have this sexual love that you love your partner, or you can have this family love or friendly love, or however it is. Davey, you're off the list. So godly love is equivalent to self-love. If you believe yourself to be the son of or daughter of God, then yes. I think that's how it is. I wouldn't say it annoys me, but I think, look, you call Jesus the Son of God, but what are we? Like us men, we're the Son of God, and the women are the daughters of God. We're all the Son of God. So I know why they separate Jesus, but we are the Son of God. It's that simple. We were created by him. We are all his children. That's just it. That's it. End of. That's it. We're all his children. And if we're all his children, we're all sons and daughters. Even your mum and dad is a son and daughter of God, which makes them your brother or your sister. That's it. That's absolutely it. And, long time ago, you would marry your brother, your sister, your mother, your whatever. That's how it would be. Because that's the truth of it. That's who they are. That's exactly who they are. And you can't get away from that. Like each being is related to another being because they're sister or brother. That's it. Scary as it is, horrible as it is, weird as it is. If we're all sons and daughters of God, we're all brothers and sisters, whether it's mum, dad, granddad, grandma, whatever. That's exactly what it is. And you may hate it, you may think I'm weird, but it's just the way that it is. And you have to accept it. Like the Native Americans used all parts of the 100%, 100%, like that, Alan. You know, every every bit of it was used, not wasted, and you know, thankful for it, thankful for the earth. You know, thankful for the grass and everything. Like without the grass, the buffalo doesn't exist, and therefore the Native American Indian couldn't kill it. So each life, the circle of life, each life is there to help another life exist. It's only us that have changed the way that works. That must be like Newton. He only eats the apple, not a bone or hair, not utilised. Yeah, it's amazing that is. Alfred sort never heard of that. I hope Alfred was a willing victim to make that sauce. Jesus said, "All these things I do, you will do and more." Absolutely. So if Jesus is the Son of God and he's able to do all of these things, then surely we are able to do all of those things because we are the son and daughters of God. And if we believed in his teachings, then we will be able to do as he tried to do with, was it Peter, walking across, I can't remember who it was, walking across the water. As long as he believed and looked at Jesus, he was able to do it. And as soon as he stopped, he wasn't. So he was out where he should. And, the people that crucified him were supposed to be the people that's supposed to, which is how I started this, like the duty of care. These people, these religious people, these politicians, they're supposed to look after us. They're supposed to have our best interests at heart. And we're in a world now where that's obviously not the case. But that's got to change. And that's going to change. And this unconditional love for every human being has to be part of this earth. Has to be. Not just part of this earth, but part of existence. This love for everything and everyone is not a bad thing. And again, it's separated into the different types of love. So I'm not saying we have to go around, hitting the sack with everyone, but an appreciation of all life, the trees, the plants, the animals, and then whichever existence there is. And some people hate me because I say these things, and they can't see past the life that they have made for themselves, or the life that they want for themselves, or their own pride, whatever it is. And I don't care. I don't care if I bring out the worst in you, it shows you learn. It shows you learn. It shows you look at yourself and you go, hang on a minute. This person just wants everybody to love each other. Why am I giving him such a hard time? Literally, this person that I'm giving a hard time just wants everyone to love each other. And I'm giving them a hard time. What is wrong with me that doesn't appreciate this person just wanting everyone to love each other? And that's when the know thyself comes in. Like, look at yourself first and understand what is the trigger. I know for some it's God. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. You don't have to believe in. You do have to believe in God, but if you want to call that the universe, if you want to call it fate, if you want to call it blah 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 blah, as long as you have faith that something created all of this, you're halfway there. But if you think that you did it, like your life, everything that you're doing is because of you, I find JC book very interesting. Funny how my studies in Vietnam lead me. The chase is like all roads lead to Rome. It's just that. Like you can find yourself where you're supposed to find yourself. You can have anything you don't like. Indulgence or Tarzan. So Tarzan of the Talons. So 100%. If you have faith, Maverick otherwise, if you have faith, you're halfway there metaphorically speaking. You just once you have the faith, once you believe, you just have to imagine what it is you need. If you believe that you can have it, then you just need your imagination to make it happen. Hey Woody, hope you had a great Valentine's Day, night, evening, whatever it is. Lots of fear in the world. They are scared to release what's comfortable to believe. And that's my statement, really. There's information that people in the world should release to ease the burdens. This is the duty of care, to ease the burdens of those they're supposed to be looking after. Like the adults are supposed to be looking after the children. The big brothers are supposed to be looking after the little brothers. The big sisters are supposed to be looking after the little sisters. That's just the way it is. So the adults are supposed to be looking after the big children, looking after the little children. And, Forrest said, he who teaches a child labours in God's workshop, or something like that. What kind of trees are in the bog? 31 degrees. 2 degrees here, Davey. Thanks for that. 2 degrees. Not even a group that can sing a song. Just 2 degrees. What, minus 7.222? I don't know what that is. I know what 222 is. Anyway, I think I better go because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Like people have got up and gone work and going to school. Didn't even know. It's a weird day actually. It's like a reddish tint, weird tint in the sky, but it's cloudy and foggy. Bit weird. That's probably that love, that heart going all around the world. That's because he had a limitation in his mind. He thought that he should be looking at Jesus while he was walking on the water. Therefore, yeah, 100%. And that's the belief. Like, no, that's so you have the faith, and then your own imagination could take the rest of the way. If you believe that it can happen because of you, if you imagine that you have that power, then you don't need to look at Jesus. You can just do what it was you were doing without the need to be looking at Jesus to do it. It is changing. Absolutely, it's changing. And it's going to, as we go through 2025, well, I have to be careful what I say. One would presume it's going to get worse before it gets amazingly better, because there'll be people that are resentful and resistant to change. And that's not just the people that are in power. All those people that have a religion they believe in will also not want, change. But for me, like if you want your mosques and your temples and your churches and your synagogues, or you can keep those. But it's about, there can only be one divine being. There can only be one most high God. There can only be one. It's that simple. And you can go to church praising the one most high God who's in charge of everybody. The can't be different religions. It's impossible. It really is impossible for there to be different religions if there is only one Most High God. The only way there can be different religions is if there's more than one God that you can worship. And that would be those that worship the devil and those that worship the Most High God. But there's no point in worshipping the devil because he has no power. The Most High God has the power. And if you believe that there is a devil and a God, then if you believe there is a devil, you must believe there is a God. Because the devil is the fallen angel that came from the falling out with God. And it amazes me that people say, no, there's no God, but there is a devil. It's like, what? So something controls everything. For me, that's God. He controls everything with mum. So father and mum, father and mother, Gaia. And we are sons and daughters. And we should all love our brothers and sisters equally and love our mother and father as you should love your mother and father. Oh, thanks, Ellen. I don't know why it showed up on your feed, unless you're a chosen one. And if you are, for that, I'm truly grateful. Yeah, I don't think I'm definitely not searching anymore, but I am full of hope. And that's, what Forrest wanted. He wanted to give people hope. And that's what was left in Pandora's box. And if I can give people hope, then, my journey will have been worth it. And, if I can make somebody smile, I can't remember how far I said it. But if he can influence someone, if he crosses their path or however he said it, I can't remember how he said it now, then, it's a good thing. And that's all I'm trying to do. And by trying to do that, I'm upsetting people. But if they just took time to reflect on why they're upset, they'll know it's not me. I just want to be your friend. I just want to be able to live, in a world full of love. How that can trigger anyone, I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, I do. I know why, but I just think if you took time out to address what the trigger is, then it's like people will assume that I'm talking to them. If I mention the name Jeff, nearly every Jeff that's listening to this will think I'm talking to him, or every Alan, or every John, or every will think I'm specifically talking to them, but I might not be talking to them. It's just a name. Like if I had to use a name, one name has to come up, and then everybody thinks I'm talking about them. Or if I say it's a bloke, every bloke thinks I'm talking about them. If I say it's a woman, every woman thinks I'm talking about them. I'm not talking about anybody in specific. I'm talking about everybody specifically. People react in different ways. Like this is where you are. This is exactly where you are. You're on these levels. You're either here in the middle, where I am. You do good things, you do bad things, and you hope to be forgiven for doing the bad things because you really want to do the good things, but this is just who you are. Or you do these things and you don't give a shit. Like you're in the dark grey or the black, and you don't care. Or you're here and you're trying to be, Jesus, which, why does it do that? Why? Or you're trying to be here. There are some people that say they're here, and they're not. They're here. But they're just put on a front for everyone, and everyone thinks they're a really nice person, and they're not. And that needs to stop. If you want to be known as a really nice person, you better be a really nice person. Because you're going to be judged for the person that you really are. Chasing the sun in a dance through the air. Have you turned into Forest Bill? Oh, chosen 144. A chase through your life with joy on your side, even if you only find reasons to smile. Next to the poet, the dream of the man paints and picture. You ain't Bill. If you're Bill Gorman, you're the real Bill Gorman, and everything that came before you was a whole load of shite. We're all born with the tools needed to manifest anything we desire, however, with governmental programs and yeah, so when a child's born, it does all the things that a child's supposed to do to belong to that spiritual world. And in some cases is able to see into that spiritual world. That's why they have friends, imaginary friends. And that's why sometimes they think they're a woman, they're a female when they're a male, because inside them there's a divine masculine, divine feminine, whatever. And they're in touch with that. And that's what confuses them. And that's what these elite people don't want. They don't want them to access that. So they come up with these transgender operations. And that's all going to stop. Life that we lived, we're going to get back. And those connections that children have will be encouraged. And they will be able to have the life that they were supposed to have and be able to manifest the things that they're supposed to be able to manifest. It's obviously going to be harder for adults because they've been programmed not to believe. They've been programmed to believe the matrix that's been put in front of them. But that's going to come down. And there will be, people who resent it, who will hate the fact that the truth is being known, that the truth is being shown. And there will be those people who want to hold on to the religions that they believe in and the things that they've done for their life. But it's not true. It's just not true. And the evidence proves that it's not true. And at some point, they will accept it. But I'm fully aware that people don't like change and they're resentful of the truth because it doesn't suit how they've been programmed. It's just like those games that you see now when they start from scratch and they build a whole empire. There's nothing there and then you build it. You create it. You make it. You build the life that you want to have, the empire that you want to have, the people that you want to have. You create it. It's not taken from you. And you create it with the energy that you have and the purpose that you have and the soul that you have inside you. Some people don't. Some people don't have a soul. Some people sold their soul. It's just the way that it is. And, you either like it or don't like it. I know who I am. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. We don't really exist. We just believe we do. I think, therefore I am. Behind a painted smile. That fog is called smart dust. Yay! There is only one for each person. A man can do all things if he wills, master of the night magic and thrills. Tracks in the codes. Oh, wow. Bill, you're either not Bill or you've just lied all this time, which is pretty much what I suspected. But there's an existence in our past that's been not hidden, just falsified. And what they've done is they put so many stories out there that it's hard to believe the truth. So many different versions of events. So you doubt all of them. Like, it can't be this, because in this version it says this, and in this version it says this, and in this version it says this, and in this version it says this. But there's no smoke without fire. So in all of that they've tried to confuse us with, there has to be a reality. There has to be. With everything they've tried to confuse us with, there has to be a reality. And if there's a reality, you have to ask the question, why have they tried to confuse us with it? Why are there so many different accounts of the same event taking place? And why is this god now called this god and now called this god? Why do we have the Aphrodites and the Venus and the Horus and, Jesus and whoever all of these different people are? Why do we have all of these different people that are the same person, like the goddess of love? Why is the goddess of love so many different people? Why isn't the goddess of love just the goddess of love? Why doesn't she just exist as the goddess of love and stay as the goddess of love? But then if there's a goddess of love and a god of war and this and that and the other, who is the most high god? Which is supposedly Ra. Why does that person go from being Ra to being God? Or however many the different versions are, chaos, whatever it is. Why isn't there just one version? If there's only one God, why isn't there just one version of God, who he created all the way through? That would be a real, true story. Not, well, God created this God created these people, and then that God disappeared, and it was this God now, and created these, and then it was this God now. And like, what? No, it's the same God if there's only one God, and he created the first. If Ra created whatever it is, can't remember, Geb, Nut, whatever, or Geo Nut, Geb, whatever it is, however it was, why does it go from those sort of creations, or chaos in the instance in the beginning? Why does it go from that to this, and this? It should just be, that's where it started. And from that point in time, it all leads up to this point in time. So some people decided they would not change the truth, give so many different versions of the same truth to separate everybody. And that's, as the years have gone, that's how they've acted. Everything they've put into place is to divide people, which is why we've ended up with DEI and the transgenders. And not that, I've got nothing against transgender. If that's their true self, fine. I don't care. But I know the reality of it is there's two. You have your divine masculine, your divine feminine, and you just need to accept that you are who you are as a person, but inside you there's someone else, that you need to be in touch with. But it doesn't stop you being the male or the female that you are. Cheers, Woody. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm going. It's early in the morning. Oh, 8:08. That's a good number. 8, 16 leads to 7. So thanks everyone for here, entertaining all angels. Thanks for popping in, everyone. Nice to see you, Ellen. Thanks for joining us. Like I say, some people think that I'm trying to, think that I'm special. I'm not. Or trying to think that, I don't listen to them. I do. But I don't respond to them because they're not listening to me. They're listening to themselves. They don't hear what I'm saying. And there's absolutely no point me having a conversation where one person says it's this and another person says it's this. And there's no point. If you're not prepared to hear your own facts, the facts about you, the facts about me, if you're not prepared to hear them, there's no point in me discussing them, because you're just going to deny what it is that I'm saying, and I'm going to deny what it is that you're saying, and there's no point. If you truly experience taste joy, you will never forget it, and you will seek to return to that state of being right with it. 100% Newman, 100%. And, I think some of that is in your soulmate. I think when you have that feeling that you were meant to be with someone, or that you would, I know it sounds what's the name, but you would die for someone. Like, the way you make me feel, that's worth dying for. Like, if everybody could feel like that, that'd be great. Not that I say you should, kill yourself for people, but clever mind sharper than the blade, or the labyrinth where the truth is made. I don't recognise Bill. I really don't. Faith, find the light. Cool. I think the gods and goddesses represent aspects of the one. 100%. People are taught easier if stuff's separated, and they can understand it more if they believe that there's one part that they look to help them in whatever it is that they need. So instead of looking to just one God, instead of just looking to one God, if God says, well, there's a goddess of love, there's a God of war, there's a God of agriculture, there's a God of wisdom, there's a God of this, there's a God of that, or intermixing those, then it's easier for someone to look to that and believe in that person controls that part, as opposed to believing that one person controls everything. It's like looking at the CEO and saying, well, you don't do all the work. You just give that work to this person and this person and this person. And I want to know about the finances. So I don't go to God who controls the whole company. I'll go to this God that's in finance. Or I go to this God that's in human resources. Or I go to this God that's in whatever. So you go to those lower branches. You don't go to the CEO all the time. And it's easier to trust those people, the person in finance. You trust them to get it done rather than you think of going to the CEO and saying, I want you to do this. So God is overseeing everything. And you're going to those positions that you need to go to get whatever query is resolved. But God controls everything. And if you want to believe that those people in finance and the people in human resources and the people in your whatever are gods beneath this God, then that's what it is. But this God controls everything. And just has these people that you can go to resolve whatever it is you need resolving. But ultimately, what you're doing, if you want anything done, would be easy if you just went straight to the CEO, straight to the person in charge. I need this to do my job. I need this to live. And then it will be affected. And that would be through whatever, the angels, the spirits, your ancestors, the universe, whatever it is you want to believe in to have those effects take place. But ultimately, there is only one creator of it all that's in charge of the universe, that's in charge of the galaxies, that's in charge of the different dimensions, that's in charge of the many realities that we have, alternate multiverse, space-time continuum, whatever it is that you want to believe in. There's only one creator that's in charge of all of that. That's how I see it anyway. Thanks, Evan. Thanks, Bill. When you're awakened, steps to my first awareness, new dimension, though, it's your power to see what others can't. It's a gift. And God, He has reasons to keep them blinded. They are not worthy. And sometimes He keeps the chosen blind because it's not time. Everything is done in divine timing because everything is already known. The big picture. He knows the big picture. We don't. He can see it from the macro and the micro. I've talked about this in all the videos that I've done. But so from up there where He is, and he sees the whole thing, and he sees it through, through time, all time, wherever it is, whichever universe, whatever it is that you're in. He sees all of that and manipulates that based on your requirements, what you're asking of God, what you believe that he can give you. And he manipulates that in order that it's in your most high good and for his glory, to be fair. So in order that you have your best life, you can have your best life by saying, thanks God, you gave me the best life. And you tell people that God gave you the best life. So your prayer helps him to do what it is that he's doing. Your belief in him helps him to do what it is that you want. And if you don't believe in him, the less people that believe in him, the less good lives that we're all going to have. The more people that believe in him, the better lives we will all have. The more power you give, the more power you put out into the universe, the more power comes back. And if it's in the highest good of you, the people around you, the existence, wherever it is, whatever plane it is, and you give that to God, then God gives that back. And we all have a great life. Because the energy has to go somewhere. And because of that good karma that goes out, there has to be the yin and yang. There has to be the positive and the negative. There has to be the dark and the light. That's what I'm led to believe, that for every action there's a reaction, blah, blah. And for all the good comes out, there's some darkness. And for all the darkness, there's some good. And those that get bad karma give good karma to others. I don't know all the ins and outs. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a religious person. I'm not a spiritual person that I've spent years and years and years looking into what the monks believe, looking into what these people believe, working out the chakras and everything else. I just know what I know, and that's you need faith. You need to believe. You just need to believe. And you're halfway there. Been thinking of you, woohoo! Yes, I think you have to believe that what happened to people in the past is given by the Creator. I call him God. You can call him whatever you want. And he chose, Egypt, and he chose America to be places. Let's call them places of interest. Like, look at what I've done for these people. Look at how they've prospered under me. And the further away from God, I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just saying this is how it looks. So Egypt stayed within, the belief of God, and they've prospered really, really well. And America have turned away from God, and they're starting to suffer. You could call it coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. So I'd say because Egypt still have faith in the Creator, then they prosper. And because America have turned against God, then they faltered. And I believe once they get back in alignment with God, I think they'll prosper again. That's just the way it is. And most, countries around the world have all started to turn against God. And, he's bringing judgment now, just like he did in the past, and probably, do in the future if we turn against God again. That's just the way I see it. Thanks, Newman. I used to have nightmares about Mary when I worked. Atari, mate. There is a sort of link with Super Mario, and I said that when I first started to do this. If you look at the stuff in Super Mario, it's weird to do with the chase. It really is. So, it'd be interesting if you want to do that. It really is weird. And I'm not saying that I'm Super Mario. I'm just saying. Thanks, Newman. Take care. Yeah, I'm going. Thanks, everyone. Keep writing stuff. I keep reading it. I had to listen to the intro. Don't stop believing for 12 hours a day. That's according to it. Wow. Wow. So my brain is programmed to don't stop believing. Cool. Yeah, don't stop believing. That's a good point to end on. Don't stop believing. Anything's possible. Have faith in a maverick. Don't know who that maverick is, but have faith in. Take care, everyone. Ciao for now.